Hello everyone. So today's topic of discussion is linear equations. And in linear equations, what we'll be discussing today is we'll be understanding on how to solve the equations where inequalities are also involved apart from linear equations. Okay. So as far as linear equation is concerned, we have done a couple of things in linear equation. We have understood how to solve linear equation with one variable, with two variable. Okay, how do we form equation and how do we solve that? We have also understood how to form linear equations. So if a statement is given to you, how can we simply form a linear equation? That is also something we have understood. Then once done with that, we have also understood system of linear equations where we discuss three different cases. That is unique solution, no solution and infinite solutions. Okay, these are the three types of questions, or these are the three subtopics which we have already discussed in this chapter, linear equation. Now the fourth thing that we will be discussing is linear equation with inequalities. Okay, so it's exactly on the lines of forming linear equations. It's just that instead of having an equality sign, you will be having inequality signs. That is, rather than using the word equal to, you will be having words such as more than, less than, at most, at least. These are the types of words that you will be finding in these questions. The process remains exactly the same. You're going to go through the question, you're going to understand what it's saying, and rather than using an equal to sign, we'll be using the inequality signs. We'll be forming the equations. If required, then we'll be combining the equations or so-called inequalities. The process is exactly the same, there is no difference. Okay, so let's begin with the questions. All right, so pause the video and try this question, please. Try this question with whatever knowledge you have and whatever you have understood in the previous videos of linear equation, then we'll discuss it. All right, let's see how we can solve this one. So it says that a positive number h is greater than 3 times the number p. Now, while I was teaching linear equations and in the previous videos of linear equations, I have discussed that whenever you have a question of linear equations, the best way to solve is that you're going to divide your entire passage, you're going to divide your entire set of informations into small parts. Okay, and try to convert words into equations or words into inequalities in this case. That will help you a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go statement by statement. A positive number h is greater than 3 times the number p. Okay, so h is greater than 3 times p. The difference between h and p is 12. So h minus p, this is equal to 12. Or if you feel that since the word difference is used, so we need to put a modulus because we do not know which of them is greater, so fine, put modulus, no denying on that part. But if h is greater than 3 times the p, h being positive, if h being positive, h is greater than 3 times the p, then h has to be greater than p. Okay, then h has to be greater than p, which means we will have the equation that is h minus p is equal to 12. Then find the maximum integer value of p satisfying the inequality above. Okay, so h minus p is 12, which is greater than 3p. So I need to make use of these two. Okay, so if I'm going to use these two, I'm going to get that greater than 3p minus p is 12. Now understand it this way. If this equation was 3p minus p, I could have written this to be 2p, right? If this equation was 3p minus p, I could have simply rewritten this as 2p, right? But this is greater than 3p. Something that is greater than 3p. So something greater than 3p minus p will simply become greater than 2p. And this will be equal to 12. 3p minus p is 2p. Something greater than 3p minus p will become greater than 2p, right? So greater than 2p is equal to 12, which means p is equal to 12 divided by greater than 2. Now what is 12 by 2? 12 by 2 is 6. 12 by 2 is 6. So 12 divided by something greater than 2 will be less than 6. Because if you're going to increase the denominator, the overall value of the fraction would decrease. So 12 by 2 is 6. 12 divided by something greater than 2 will be less than 6. So p is less than 6. P is less than 6. Now what's the question? Find the maximum integer value of p. So the maximum integer value of p is 5. That will be your answer. So simply going step by step using logic as well as maths at every step. That's it. Alright. Okay, let's move on. Okay, pause the video and try this question, please. Alright, let's see how we can solve this one. A car and a truck are 100 miles apart. The car has a maximum mileage of 10 miles per gallon. Okay, so I'm going to write this down. Car mileage, it has a maximum mileage, so I will write this as less than equal to 10 miles per gallon. And truck has a maximum mileage of 5 miles per gallon. Okay, so I'm gonna write this one down also. If speed of the car is thrice of the truck, okay, so speed of car, wait, something weird is happening with my pad. So speed of the car is 3 times the speed of the truck. That's another piece of information. You can find the minimum gallon of fuel required by the truck to just meet the car, assuming the car and the truck started at the same time towards each other. Okay, so what would be the scenario? Let's understand. Let's say car is at this point. Let's call this point A. And truck is at this point. Let's call this as point B. And the 2 points are basically like 100 miles apart. Okay, so the car is going to start from point A, the truck is going to start from point B. They're moving towards each other, and we basically need to figure out at what point of time they will meet. Not exactly that, we need to figure out what's the minimum requirement of fuel for the truck. Okay, now if they both start at the same point of time, now speed of car is 3 times the speed of truck. If they both started at the same time, now you need to understand that, let's suppose they meet at whatever point. Let's say they meet at some point C. It's going to be closer to B for the fact that speed of car is more. Okay, so it's going to be closer to B. Now car started from point A, truck started from point B. They both meet at point C. So I can say that amount of time taken by car in going from A to C will be equal to amount of time taken by truck in going from B to C. Correct? Amount of time taken by car to go from A to C will be equal to amount of time taken by truck in going from B to C. That would be the actual reason why the two things, car and a truck, are meeting at this point C. Correct? Because they both started at the same point of time, so they need to reach C at same point of time. Now remember that we know this basic relationship. All of you would be knowing that distance is basically equal to speed multiplied by time. Everyone knows this. Now, if time is constant, constant in the sense that it's same for both car and truck, then you can say that distance is directly proportional to speed. That is, the ratio of the distance will be in the same ratio of the speed. So if the speed of car is 3 times the speed of truck, then the distance covered by car will also be 3 times the distance covered by truck. If that's the case, then I can say that car will cover a total of 75 miles and truck will cover a total of 25 miles. Okay. Now what's the question? We need to find out the gallons required by the truck. Now truck has to cover a distance of 25 miles and it has a mileage of less than equal to 5. So the fuel required will simply be equal to 25 divided by less than equal to 5. Now 25 divided by 5, 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5. Okay, what you need to do is you can break this into two parts so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay, where should I write it? I'm removing this. Okay, this straight line diagram, I'm removing this. My equation is, because I want you to understand this step by step, because you're gonna have problems in this. So understand this. Okay, be attentive at this part. You need to understand how to divide this. I have 25 divided by something less than equal to 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into two parts. I'm going to rewrite this as 25 divided by 5 and 25 divided by something less than 5. Okay, break it into two parts. It's going to be easier for you, trust me. What is 25 by 5? 25 by 5 is 5. This is 25 divided by something less than 5. What is 25 by 5? That's 5. If I am decreasing the denominator, the overall fraction would increase. 25 by 5 is 5. So 25 divided by less than 5 will be greater than 5. Now you have to combine these two and you can say that your answer is greater than equal to 5. So the fuel requirement is greater than equal to 5 gallons. Question is, find the minimum gallon of fuel required. The minimum gallon of fuel required is equal to 5. Is equal to 5 and that is your answer. Okay. Alright guys, let's move on. Okay, pause the video and try this question please. Alright, let's see how we can solve this one. Jack has a total of 5p books with him, which he is planning to sell at $R each. If he is unable to sell less than X books, then find the revenue generated by him in selling the books in dollars. Okay, so I'm gonna go step by step. Okay, sounds confusing to me. Jack has a total of 5p books, so I'm gonna write total is 5p books, which he's planning to sell at $R each. So cost of the book is $R. Fine. If he is unable to sell less than X books, okay, unable to sell less than X books. So if I want to calculate able to sell, that would be something equivalent to 5p minus less than X. That would be something 5p minus less than x. Now, again understand this. Had he been unable to sell X books, like let's suppose if the question was he is unable to sell X books, if this word less than was not there, if this word less than was not there, then that means he would be unable to sell X books, right? He would be unable to sell X books, which means he would be able to sell 5p minus X books. If he is unable to sell X, then that means he is able to sell 5p minus X. But what's happening? He is unable to sell less than X. He is unable to sell less than X. Then can I say 5p minus less than X? I can also rewrite this as something greater than 5p minus X. Understand it this way. Let's say suppose I have a total of 100 books with me. Okay. I am unable to sell less than 10 books. I am unable to sell less than 10 books, then that means I am able to sell 100 minus less than 10 or no. Now what is 100 minus 10? That's 10. Oh, sorry, that's 90. What is 100 minus 10? That's 90. What is 100 minus something less than 10? It would be greater than 90. So this would automatically become greater than 90. This is exactly the same concept I have used here. If he is unable to sell X, that means he is able to sell 5p minus X. If he is unable to sell less than X, that means he is able to sell greater than 5p minus X. Okay, it's just logic, guys. That's it, nothing else. So what would be the revenue generated by him? So you can say that the revenue generated will be greater than 5p minus X into R. You will be having like 4 options. They will obviously not ask you to grid in this. That's not possible. They will give you 4 options. You will have less than sign, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. So you just have to mark the correct one. But what's important is, the important part is you need to understand on how to solve this, or on how to approach questions like these. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, pause the video and try this question, please. All right, let's see what we can do with this one. So Johnny bought 20 toys. Beth, his sister, wants at least 6 toys. Johnny will keep more than 8 toys with himself, and the remaining he gave to his brother Alan. If Alan got P toys, then find the maximum number of toys with Alan. Okay, so we started with 20 toys because that's exactly the number that Johnny bought. When you talk about Beth, she wants at least 6. At least 6 is greater than or equal to 6 toys. When you talk about Johnny, he will keep more than 8. So more than 8 toys. So I can say that the total with Beth and Johnny will be greater than 14 toys. Will be greater than 14 toys. Okay, because in case of Johnny, it's not at least, it's greater than 8. Okay, it's greater than 8. So 8 plus 6 is 14, but since for Johnny you have greater than 8, so that will automatically become greater than 14 toys. Now Johnny gave remaining to his brother Alan. That means Alan would have 20 minus something greater than 14. Now again, let's understand. Let's say suppose if this equation was, or if this subtraction was 20 minus 14, then this would have been equal to 6. 20 minus 14 is equal to 6. But this is 20 minus something greater than 14, or 20 minus a number greater than 14. So that means the result will be less than 6. So Alan got P number of toys which is less than 6. So we need to find the maximum number of toys with Alan. So the maximum number of toys will be 5. Because toys have to be integers. So the maximum value of P will automatically be 5. And that would be your answer. Alright, let's move on to the next question. So pause the video and try this one, please. Okay, let's see how we can solve this one. So Samantha has a minimum of 100 tablets which are divided into 5 tablets and 10 tablets packages. If the difference between the number of 5 tablet packages and 10 tablet packages is less than 10, number of 10 tablet packages is P and the number of 5 tablet packages is A, then form inequalities expressing the information above. Alright, this seems like an easy question to me. So you have, what you have is, you have 5 tablets packages, and that is basically equal to A. You have 10 tablets packages, and this is basically equal to P. These two things are given to us, and we have a total of 100 tablets. Okay, now can I say if I have a total of A5 tablets packages, so can I say the total number of tablets in this would be 5A, and in case of 10 it will be basically 10P, right? Because I have a total of P 10 tablet packages, each package containing of 10 tablets, so total will be 10P tablets. Now I have a total of 100 tablets, which means one equation I can form, that is 5A plus 10P, that will be equal to 100. Or you can like divide both sides by 5 and you can write this as A plus 2P is equal to 20. The difference between the number of 5 tablets packages and 10 tablets packages is less than 10. Okay, so that means that A minus P is less than 10. Now I have used this mod for the fact that I do not know which of them is greater. A is greater or P is greater, I do not know that. That is not given to me in the question. Okay, so your final answer would be A plus 2P is 20 and mod of A minus P is less than 10. Or this one can be another form, that is mod of P minus A is less than 10. Both of them are correct. Okay, both of them are correct. So whichever option gives you these two, one equality and one inequality, that will be your final answer. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so pause the video and draw this question, please. All right, let's give this one a try. In a manufacturing unit, machine P produces 8 auto components per hour. Okay, so I have a machine P which is producing and machine Q which is producing 5 auto components per hour. The company wants to produce at least 50 auto components in n hours. Okay, I'm going to underline this. I want at least 50 auto components in n hours. If machine P produces X auto components, so this is producing X components, and Q is producing Y components, form linear equation and inequality is representing the, I think it should be information above, not equation above. I think there's a typo on my end. But I hope that you have got the basic idea. All right, so we want to produce a total of, we want to produce at least 50 auto components in n hours, and machine P can produce 8 auto components in an hour, and machine Q can produce 5 auto components in an hour. Okay, so first of all, if X represents auto components produced by P and Y represents auto components produced by Q, and if I want at least 50 auto components, so one thing is for sure, that is X plus Y, this value should be greater than or equal to 50. X plus Y, this should be greater than or equal to 50, because I want at least 50 auto components. Now the time frame given to me is n hours, that is both the machines can work only for n hours. Now both the machines are separate, so machine P is producing 8 auto components an hour separately, and machine Q, sorry, it's machine P, not a mistake, and machine Q can produce 5 auto components per hour. They both are working separately. Now if I need X auto components from machine P, if I need X auto components from machine P and it's working at a rate of 8 per hour, so can I say I would want X by 8, I would want X by 8 to be less than N. X is the total work to be done, P8 is the rate at which the work is being done, and N represents the number of hours. Okay, it's in N hours, my mistake, it's not less than N, so it will be equal to. Or you can think about it in this way, that P is producing 8 auto components per hour, so in n hours it will produce 8 n components. So you can also write X is equal to 8n or X by 8 is equal to n, that's completely your call. Similarly, for the second machine, you can write Y divided by 5, this should be equal to n, or Y is equal to 5. So your answer will become X plus Y greater than or equal to 50, X by 8 is equal to n, and Y by 5 is equal to n. Or they could have also given you that X is equal to 8n and Y is equal to 5n, or also X by n is 8, Y by n is 5, either way. But this is basically what it will be. Now let's move on. Okay, so pause the video and try this one. It's a bit long, it's a bit lengthy question, so try this one, give this one a time. All right, let's give this one a try. A company produces two types of cars. First type is with one axle system, second type is with two axle system. First type of car costs $1,200. Okay, so the first type will cost you $1,200, and the second type would cost you $1,600. The car company sets two targets for next financial year to sell at least 150 car and to generate a revenue of $200,000. Okay, so I want to sell, or the company basically wants to sell 150 cars. It says at least, that's why greater than equal to, and a revenue of $200,000. Number of first type of cars sold was X. Okay, so first type is X. Second type of car sold is Y, so this is Y in the respective financial year. Okay, if the company falls short on selling at least 150 cars, okay, now they were supposed to sell at least 150 cars, so my equation should have been X plus Y is greater than equal to 150. This should have been my equation, or this should have been my inequality. But it says that the company falls short on selling at least 150. That means my actual inequality which I need to use is X plus Y is less than 150. This is the correct one, because it says that the company falls short. Okay, now if they're selling X cars of first type and Y cars of second type, then I can say that the total revenue generated from first type of car is 1200X, and total revenue generated from second type of car is 1600Y. Again, now let's move on. However, achieve the other target. The other target was to generate a revenue of 200,000, which means I can write 1200X plus 1600Y is equal to 200,000. So this is 12X plus 16Y. This is 2000. You can divide both sides by 4, and 3X plus 4Y will basically be equal to 500. So one is this equation and second is this equation. These are your two equations. Okay, one is inequality, other is equation, but this is basically what your answer is. So whichever option consists of both these, that will be your correct answer. Alright, let's try one more question. Okay, so pause the video and try this question, please. Alright, let's see how we can draw this one. For a school summer concert, one type of ticket costs $6. Okay, so the first type, this is gonna cost $6, and another cost $9. Okay, so second type would cost $9. The hall has a maximum capacity of 500. Okay, so maximum capacity is 500. However, the sale of tickets should make a minimum revenue of $3,500. Okay, so I want a minimum revenue of $3500. If a total of X tickets, each costing $6, and a total of Y tickets, each costing $9 are sold, form linear equations inequalities representing information above. Okay. So I have X tickets of first type and I have Y tickets of second type. Cool. So if we have a maximum capacity of 500, then the first thing I can say is that X plus Y should be less than equal to 500. That's the first thing I can say. Okay, that X plus Y should be less than equal to 500. Because basically I have only like 500 chairs available with me. So one ticket is for one chair. So X plus Y will be less than equal to 500. Now the revenue generated from $6 ticket will be 6X. Revenue generated from $9 ticket will be 9Y. And I need a minimum revenue. Which means 6X plus 9Y should be greater than equal to 3500, because it says minimum, so it can be more than 3500 also. Okay, so these are the two equations again required, and that will be all, nothing else. Okay, so guys, these are the types of questions that you would be facing when you talk about linear equations with inequalities. You may either have to solve it, or you may either have to like simply give the equations. The same thing we did with linear equations, either form equations or solve equations. Same thing happens with linear inequalities also. Form inequalities or solve inequalities, these are the only two things. All right guys, so that will be more or less everything that you need to know as far as this video is concerned. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you have learned something new for a SAT exam. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that for more videos and exam related content on SAT, GMAT and GRE. Please share the videos with your friends also, so that they can also benefit. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything you would like to ask, anything you would like to share, please do that. You are more than welcome. And if you're looking for personalized classes, then you can always contact us either on mail or on WhatsApp number. Alright guys, thank you so much. Keep watching and keep learning.